Welcome back to Physics Teacher. Today's lesson I'm going to go over 3 very important skills in Microsoft Word that's going to save you a lot of time on some of those long lab reports you're going to be doing in post-secondary. So stay tuned. Alright, so welcome back. The first thing I'm going to teach you how to do is how to properly type in an equation. Now, you can certainly type in an equation by going into the equation editor, but there's a lot of keyboard shortcuts that will save you a lot of time. The first one is to start an equation. If you want to start an equation, you do not need to go to Insert and look for Equation and insert an equation. Simply hold down the Alt key and press equals. And immediately you've started your equation. Now again, you can go over here and searching for all the different things that you need, but there are a lot of keyboard shortcuts where, if you're a good typer that is, will save you a lot of time. For example, X, and then hit that upwards arrow, squared, and then hitting space does that. Right? And you can do that for anything. You can do X cubed, right? X cubed. Or if you're into chemistry, you can do, say, carbon dioxide. So you can do CO and then _2, and space always executes it. So space, there you go, CO2. If you're into chemistry, you can also do right and left arrows. Just type slash, right arrow, space, there you go. And you can do the same with the left arrow. Square roots are another thing. Slash SQRT, space, and then you can type what you like. Now, if you want the square root of all x plus 3, you're going to need to use brackets. So we'll hit square root bracket. Nope, need to start that equation first. Square root, and then bracket x plus 3, end bracket, and then hit space. And it will put it all in there. And you notice the brackets disappear there too. It's the same with fractions. Right? If you want to do x divided by y, it'll do that. However, if you were to do x plus 4 divided by y, notice it just does that. But if you wanted x plus 4, the entire binomial there on the numerator, then you do brackets x plus 4 divided by y. And when you hit space, those brackets will disappear for you. Greek letters. Greek letters we use a lot. You can go in here and search for your Greek letter, or you can just do slash and type whatever Greek letter you want. Theta, for example, space. Maybe phi, space. Right? Sigma. Right? If you want the capital sigma, well then simply write it with a capital S. And there's capital sigma. It can save you a lot of time there. What about vectors? So you can do vectors. For example, force, then I'll do slash vector. Notice it's not right on top of the F. If you hit space again, it will go right on top of the S, on top of the F. Okay, so that's very good. Another quick one that lots of people find useful is if you're doing the quadratic equation, right? You want to do x equals minus b plus or minus. That plus or minus is just slash PM, plus or minus. Okay, so lots of quick shortcuts, and I've actually made a guidebook that you can use. You can download that from my website, which is youtubephysics.teacher.ca. Right? It's free to download. Just go there, download it, and you can see a lot of shortcuts and instructions on how to do it. Okay, there's also some instructions as a guide to how to do these things if you're doing other platforms, right? Like if you're doing Google Apps, for example, and you're using Google Docs and you want to type equations, there's tips in there to be able to do that as well. I usually prefer Microsoft Word, but Google does have its advantages as well. All right, so let's write that quadratic equation, for example. X equals, now we want the top to be in brackets, so we have minus b plus or minus square root, put that in brackets, b squared minus 4ac, end bracket, space, end bracket, and divide by 2a. There you go. That fast, as opposed to constantly looking for which things you need up here. All right, now the second skill I wanted to teach all of you aspiring scientists that'll help you save a lot of time with Microsoft Word is how to properly draw a diagram. I mean, you're going to have to draw your apparatus on your lab reports, and your lab reports need to be typed. And what I find a lot of people do is they go insert, and they put shapes in, they choose whatever shapes they want, and they put them in, right? And then they combine shapes on top of shapes, which is fine. That's how you would draw your diagram. But then as you start to type elsewhere, right, your different shapes start to separate. And it's really frustrating. It's a formatting nightmare. So before you draw your diagram, don't just draw it on the page. Go to Insert, go to Shapes, and select New Drawing Canvas. And this is going to put a canvas here. Now inside this canvas, you can draw whatever shapes you want and separate them however you want to separate them. It does not matter, right? And then they will always stay together. They won't start separating because they're all together on this canvas that you created. Even if you wanted to move them, right? You can just select a different option like behind text, and I can move it. Select the whole canvas, not the shape. All together, just like that. Right? And so that's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of frustration, right, when you're drawing your diagrams. And the third important thing that I'm going to teach you, which a lot of high school students don't realize they're going to have to do when they go into science, but that's referencing, right? When you do lab reports, a lot of the times you do research and you look at other journals and books, and you reference any previous research that has done and background information for whatever lab it is that you're doing. And so you're going to have to reference a lot of articles or books, and you're going to have to create a bibliography. And if you forgot what your English teacher taught you, it might be difficult. However, Word does it for you. So up here, go up to references. So I'm going to use a book. This is the book I'm currently reading. Right? I'm not advertising it or anything, but if you've read it, don't tell me what happens in the comments. I'm not done it yet. Okay, so I'm going to use this book. I'll just take a quote from it. Oh, the very first line. What's 2 plus 2? Okay, what's 2 plus 2? Okay, now I want to insert a citation. So under references, right, I'm going to select the style. I'm going to do APA, and I click Insert Citation. I'm going to add a new source. Now this is actually a really good feature because once you've added a source, you can reuse it just by clicking, right? You don't have to retype in everything again. But we're going to go through this for the first time, and it's really quite simple. So we have the book. You can choose what type of source. This one's a book. The author for this one, Andy Weir. The title, Project Hail Mary. The year, just look in the front cover, 2021. City is New York, and the publisher says Ballantine Books. There you go. Okay. And boom, it puts it in there. And then once you've done everything else, right, the great thing that you can do is you can just go up here to bibliography, click, and click Insert. And there it goes. Right? You might want to do that on a fresh page. Right? And it'll list all of the different references that you've used. And it will actually put it in order for you. So you don't have to really spend all this time working through your references or creating a bibliography. Word will do that for you. All right. So those 3 things, right? Keyboard shortcuts for equations, right? Using the canvas to draw something so that you don't have formatting issues, and doing your own citations and bibliography will save you so much time. So I hope you've enjoyed that episode. I'm going to be making another episode which will teach you Excel skills and spreadsheet skills for science. So if you're interested, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.